In the 5th year of our marriage, I asked Leo for a divorce, just because it was raining and I walked her home instead of picking you up. Yes. Don't joke about divorce. His expression darkened. If I take it seriously, what are you going to do then? 8 years together, 5 years married. After marriage, I became a housewife. He had long been certain that I couldn't leave him. What he didn't know was that I had already passed the graduate school entrance exam at my alma mater, and had prepared everything I needed to leave. Chapter 1. I'm not joking, I said. Looking at him, Leo put down the sandwich in his hand and sighed. Lisa, I really don't have time today to play games with you. Can you be good? With that, he grabbed the suit jacket draped over the back of the chair and walked toward the door. My work is exhausting too. Sometimes I wish you'd think about how I feel. I froze. I hadn't considered his feelings. Just because he once said, don't go into archaeology. I wouldn't feel safe letting a girl travel that far. I turned down my professor's offer to take me on as a graduate student. I stayed every day where he could see me. Because of that, my professor was so angry that he never replied to my holiday greetings again, and now it had turned into me not caring about his feelings. Before he reached the door, the sound of the keypad unlocking came from outside, along with a crisp female voice. Camila walked in. Boss, today's meeting is really important. We're about to be late. Leo immediately panicked. It's not what you think. One time I got drunk and Camila walked me home. That's why she knows the door code. Camila, who had just entered, explained awkwardly. Lisa, I'm sorry. I was in a rush. In a rush gives you the right to barge in without knocking? I interrupted her bluntly. Do you know this counts as trespassing? The woman in front of me looked somewhat like me, about 30% similar. Camila bit her lip nervously, looking at Leo with pitiful, rabbit-like eyes. He looked at me with disapproval. Lisa, don't bully a young girl. A young girl? I laughed coldly. Leo, you used to call me that too. You hired a secretary who looks like me, and now you're calling her a young girl? I'm not even dead yet, and you're already playing the substitute game? Leo reacted like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. Lisa, that's enough. I'm busy with work. I'm not going to argue with you. With that, he turned and left. Camila trotted after him like a wronged little wife. Chapter 2. I was already unhappy when Leo hired Camila. Her resume didn't meet the job requirements at all. At the time, Leo said, Lisa, I don't know why, but the moment I saw her, I thought of you back then. I don't know how much you suffered when we didn't know each other, so I wanted to give her a chance. Just for you. If she doesn't perform well during her probation, we'll let her go. But later, Camila made a mistake on a pricing sheet that caused the company a huge loss. Leo quietly covered it up. He used his own private money to make up for the loss. When I confronted him, he brushed it off lightly. That was my fault too. I signed it without reviewing it properly. After that, Camila passed her probation smoothly and became Leo's secretary. That afternoon, while I was sorting my things, my phone rang. Lisa, go check Xiaohongsha right now, my best friend Angelica said urgently. As I opened the app, Angelica rambled on. I just saw a post called Day N of secretly loving my boss. The blogger posted a photo, and it looks so much like your Leo. I searched the ID Angelica gave me. A photo popped up. A man shown in profile, drinking. It was Leo, and the half-visible face next to him, Camila. The caption read, my boss seems heartbroken. Sob sob. How should I comfort him? The post was extremely popular, with comments shipping them and eagerly following updates. Scrolling through the account, it was all stories about my boss. Anyone who didn't know the truth could easily see a kind of sweetness there. Lisa, who is this woman? I'm going to curse her out, Angelica said, clearly typing furiously. I said quietly, forget it, there's no need. Angelica didn't understand. Angelica, I'm tired. Let's talk tomorrow. Night deepened. At 11 o'clock, Leo finally came home. He placed a thermos on the dining table. Lisa, I packed you some chicken soup. You look like you've lost weight lately. Drink some. My chest tightened. Then I noticed the watch on his wrist. A cheap brand, one I'd given him when I was in college. His closet now held many expensive watches. Yet he still wore this one. Chapter 3. Lisa. It's only been half a month since we last met. How did you lose so much weight? Angelica asked in surprise the moment she saw me. I brushed it off and asked her instead. How's your auction house doing lately? At the mention of that, Angelica smiled with satisfaction. The suggestion you gave me last time really worked. The auctions I've planned recently have all gone extremely well. Lisa, it's thanks to you that my auction house could even get off the ground. She was exaggerating a bit. Angelica was a rich heiress. Her family had plenty of money. Opening an auction house was never about lacking funds. What she lacked were people who actually understood the field. I'd been interested in history since I was young. In college, I got into the best archaeology program in the country. Outside of my studies, I helped people identify antiques for free on social media. A few times, she almost got scammed. I gave her some guidance, and she offered me a position as a technical consultant, along with 10% of the shares. Now that the auction house was running well, if I divorced Leo, those shares would be my fallback. Angelica, I'm planning to get a divorce. Angelica laughed. Lisa, do you even believe that yourself? Since sophomore year of college, you two have practically broken up once every 10 days or half a month, and every single time, you were the one who brought it up. And what happened every time? As long as Leo apologized and sweet-talked you a bit, the two of you went right back to being lovey-dovey. After all these years, do you really think you can leave him? I fell silent, thinking to myself, this time is different. Angelica picked up her handbag. I get it. Is this about that post? Come on, I'll go with you to get some answers. It had been a long time since I'd gone to his company anyway, so I didn't refuse. We went downstairs to Leo's office building. In the elevator, two female employees were chatting. Hey, when do you think that little vixen Camila will finally land Leo? I think she already has. Leo eats the lunch Camila brings him every day now. If she hadn't landed him, would that be happening? It's disgusting. A nobody from some no-name university ordering us around every day, just because Leo likes her. I hope Leo's wife finds out soon and beats that slut to death. Unlikely. I heard Leo's wife is a housewife. Even if she finds out, she'll probably just swallow it quietly. Pitiful. Ding! The elevator doors opened, and the two employees walked out. Angelica couldn't hold back anymore. Lisa, why didn't you tell me Leo was cheating on you? I answered honestly. Maybe he isn't. Maybe it's just ambiguity. Angelica looked at me in frustration. And you don't care? How could I not care? Then why do you think I want a divorce? Chapter 4. Angelica stopped talking. When we reached the general manager's floor, she grabbed my arm and stormed forward. The moment she pulled open the door to Leo's office, a figure holding lunch boxes rushed out and crashed straight into me. The containers fell to the floor with a clatter, oil splashing everywhere, soaking my clothes. It was Camila. What's wrong with you? Don't you look before opening the door? Angelica snapped, pulling out tissues to help wipe me off, but the oil stains wouldn't come out. I stared blankly at the lunch boxes scattered on the floor. One pink, one blue, identical in style except for the color. Like a matching pair. Lisa? Why are you here? Did I bump into you too hard? Your clothes are dirty. I'll take you to buy a new set later. After speaking, Leo turned to Camila. You're already grown up. Why are you still so careless? It sounded like scolding, but I heard unmistakable indulgence in his tone. Angelica noticed Camila's appearance, her gaze darting between the two of us. I looked up at Leo. What were you just doing? Leo's panic was obvious. Camila, however, spoke up calmly. Lisa, don't blame me for talking too much. Leo is so busy every day, and no one even checks whether he's eaten. I really couldn't stand it anymore, and I wanted to thank Leo for always taking care of me. So I took the initiative to bring him lunch. Please don't be angry. Oh, and if you change out of those clothes, I'll wash them clean for you. I turned to look at her, about to speak, when Angelica let out a cold laugh. You sure care a lot about someone else's husband, and the oil has already soaked into the fabric. Even if you wash it, it'll still smell. If you want it, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, pay for a new one. Camila bit her lip and looked at Leo. Leo tried to smooth things over. Lisa, Camila is young and doesn't know how to talk properly, but she couldn't afford to replace those clothes with her monthly salary. She just graduated. Don't make things hard for her. I'll buy you a new one, okay? Angelica exploded. Leo, if you don't know how to speak, then shut up. You'll pay for her? What's your relationship with her? Are you her dad or her grandpa? I turned to Camila. What do you say? She suddenly looked up and glared at me. Lisa, Leo works so hard to earn money, and you just sit at home enjoying it. That's bad enough. Why do you still come out here to bully people? Anyway, all your clothes are bought with Leo's money. Leo already said it's fine. I raised an eyebrow. Leo finally spoke sharply. Camila, you've said too much. Lisa and I are husband and wife. My money is her money. How is that living off someone? Camila stared at him in disbelief, tears streaming down her face. She turned and ran out. Leo took a step as if to chase her, then realized it wasn't appropriate. He turned back and held out a card to me ingratiatingly. All right, honey, don't be mad at me anymore. I really have nothing to do with her. I still need to work. Have Angelica go with you to buy some clean clothes and change. I didn't take the card. I turned around and walked away. Chapter 5. Angelica chased after me. I don't think Leo cares that much about that, Camila. You two have been through so much over the years. Divorce seems a bit extreme, doesn't it? I shook my head, my thoughts drifting back to the day I met Leo. Back then, I was preparing for an important competition. I had spent an entire month drawing a cultural relic restoration illustration, and it vanished from the classroom without a trace. I was so anxious I cried my eyes out. Leo walked up to me and said, "Don't be afraid. I'll help you get it back." He went to the security office to ask the uncle there to check the cameras, but unfortunately that classroom didn't have any surveillance. So he examined every single frame of all the cameras within a few hundred meters around the classroom. He stayed in the monitoring room for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, he finally caught the thief who stole my drawing. I made it in time to submit my work for the competition, and I won first prize. And then, naturally, we ended up together. I grew up in an orphanage to avoid being bullied. I developed a terrible temper. Whenever I was unhappy, I'd use words to stab at him, and every single time, he would patiently coax me until I calmed down. When the kitten we raised together died of illness, I was devastated, as if I had lost everything. I couldn't understand why everything I ever had would slip away. I hid by myself, unwilling to talk to anyone. He went to great lengths to find me. That day, holding me, he said, "Lisa, I'm here. Believe me, I'll stay with you forever." Chapter 6. But later, Camila started showing up between us more and more often. She'd get up early to pick him up for work, take him home when he was drunk. Now she even ate lunch with him. Camila had student loans to repay. When Leo found out, he immediately gave her a raise. When Camila's younger brother got into a car accident, she called him first. He immediately used his connections to arrange surgery. Even when Camila's semi-basement rental had a rat problem, she called him and he brought her into our home. He said, "Lisa, we'll let her stay a few days. Once she finds a place, she'll move out." He always said, "A girl who just graduated and left her hometown isn't having it easy. If we can help, we should." So I kept telling myself, don't be jealous. Don't be petty. I forced myself to believe Leo had no feelings for Camila. Until that day, there was a torrential downpour, and Leo didn't come to pick me up. That day I went to see a cultural relic exhibition. When I came downstairs, I realized it was pouring. Leo's company was nearby, so I called him, asking him to come get me. No one answered. I had no choice but to borrow a museum umbrella and carefully walk toward the entrance, planning to hail a taxi. On the way, I came across a small puddle. Instinctively, I stepped around it, but accidentally stepped onto grass blades spreading out from a flower bed. With a loud thud, I slipped and fell to the ground. I hadn't even landed on my stomach, but my stomach hurt so badly. Rain splashed onto my face, mixing with tears that seeped out from the pain. Finally, people inside rushed over and called an ambulance. Soon, I arrived at the hospital. The doctor held my test results and said grimly, "You didn't even know you were pregnant? You've miscarried. You need surgery." I couldn't believe it. I begged the doctor to save my baby. The doctor only shook his head. Contact your family as soon as possible. Chapter 7. I burst into sobs, clutching my phone and dialing Leo again and again. I had never needed him so desperately, but 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. On the other end there was only the same no answer. My heart turned cold little by little. I signed the surgical consent form myself. Leo started his business the moment he graduated. He said he wanted to give me the best life. So he worked hard. Overtime was routine, and he traveled constantly, all over the country. So we agreed we'd have a child after his company was stable. He also said he wanted a girl, preferably one who looks just like you. I'll spoil her into a little princess. We used contraception for 5 years, until the last time he came home drunk and got carried away, forgetting to take precautions. He said, "It's a safe day. It should be fine." And yet, I got pregnant. But before I could even truly have it, I lost it. At midnight, the medical staff wheeled me out of the operating room. I saw Leo's missed calls, only one, and then his messages. "Lisa, I'm sorry, the rain was too heavy. I drove Camila home, and it wasn't convenient to answer while driving. Lisa, why were you looking for me? What was it? Lisa, why aren't you replying? Are you mad? It's so late, why aren't you home yet? Still ignoring me? Did you go to Angelica's? All right, when you come back tomorrow, I'll apologize properly. Camila again. Why Camila again?" I was wrapped in a thick blanket, yet my hands and feet were ice cold. I couldn't stop trembling. Suddenly, everything felt unbearably meaningless. From that moment on, I finally realized I needed to leave. Chapter 8. Angelica went with me to buy new clothes and then walked me home. "Lisa, even though I think Leo still loves you, you should think twice about the divorce," she said. "But if you've really made up your mind, I'll support you." I didn't say anything, I just hugged her. Camila updated her post again. Boss saw that I wasn't happy and bought me a pretty little dress. The photo showed a large orange shopping bag from a luxury brand. Camila only revealed 2 fingers, making a V sign. The comments exploded. "Damn, that's worth several months of my salary. I wish for a boss like this too. If this isn't love, then what is?" He's already buying such expensive clothes before even getting her. Once he does, won't it be cars and houses next? The world of rich people is beyond me. Something stabbed sharply at my heart. When Leo and I first got together, he didn't have much money. The first dress he ever bought me was paid for with savings from 2 months of handing out flyers. That dress is still lying in my closet. It used to be my favorite. Later, he made money, but he also became busier and busier. So busy that I handled the entire home renovation myself. Buying clothes for me was out of the question. Most of the time, he would just stuff his card into my hand and tell me to buy whatever I wanted. I've never been someone with strong material desires. After wandering around with his card all day, I usually ended up buying things for him instead. My phone buzzed with a notification. I picked it up. It was the college classmates group chat, buzzing with plans for a reunion. Someone tagged me. "Lisa, we haven't seen you in ages. You have to come this time. And bring your husband. Lisa's husband is amazing now, if he comes. Someone's definitely picking up the bill. Haha." Everyone was joking around. Even though Leo wasn't in the archaeology department, he used to come to our class all the time. When he had nothing to do, he'd even sit in on lectures with me. So everyone in my class knew him. Back then, to make sure people looked out for me, he often treated them to milk tea. "Sure, let me know once you've set the date," I replied. I put down my phone, but I had no intention of telling Leo. Chapter 9. The date for the class reunion turned out to be my birthday. Early that morning, Leo left the house. He clearly didn't remember what day it was. Even though I had already decided to leave, I still felt a little unaccustomed to it. All these years, no matter how busy he was, he had never forgotten my birthday. I still remembered the first time he celebrated my birthday. He secretly asked all of our classmates to cooperate. The moment I walked into the classroom, colorful streamers exploded from above. Everyone sang the birthday song for me, while Leo slowly walked toward me holding a cake. It was the first birthday I had celebrated in more than 10 years. I cried, half from happiness, half from sadness. he said. Lisa, don't be sad. From now on, I'll make sure you're happy on every single birthday. When I entered the private room, some familiar classmates greeted me. Lisa, you're still so beautiful. Hey, where's your husband? Why didn't he come? I smiled and explained. He's been really busy lately and couldn't make time. Don't worry, today is on me. Don't listen to them joking around. It's a class reunion, we're splitting the bill. How could we let you pay alone? Just then, the door was pushed open. It was Leo, and behind him, Camila. The classmates had been about to greet him happily, but when they saw Camila, they froze for a moment, unsure of the situation. Why are you here? I asked. Leo pulled out a chair beside me and sat down. Our class monitor asked if I was coming. That's how I found out about the reunion, he said. He looked around and explained. This is my secretary, Camila. I was nearby for a bidding meeting and rushed over as soon as I finished. She hasn't eaten yet, so I told her to grab a bite here. You don't mind, right? Not at all. Not at all, the classmates said, unclear about the situation, and quickly called a server to add another chair. Camila sat down without hesitation on Leo's other side. Leo picked food for me as he spoke. Why didn't you ask me? Of course I would have come with you. I stayed silent. Still mad? You're really holding on to this one. I don't even know how to make it up to you anymore. I let out a cold laugh. If you really wanted to make it up to me, would you have brought her here? Camila cut in again, smiling sweetly. Sorry, Lisa, I didn't think that much about it. Leo asked if I wanted to come eat. So I did. If it bothers you, I can leave. Leo grabbed her arm. No need. Hurry up and eat. Weren't you hungry? After this, we're going back to the office. There's still work to do. Camila lowered her head happily and started eating. Some classmates whispered when they saw this. Someone even murmured, "What's going on with Lisa's husband? Why does his secretary look kind of like Lisa?" Sensing the awkward atmosphere, the class monitor quickly changed the subject. Lisa, I visited our professor recently. He even mentioned you, asking what you're doing these days. Before I could answer, Camila let out a soft laugh. You don't know? Lisa hasn't been working at all. She's been living off Leo. If you ask me, Lisa really has it easy. She doesn't have to work hard like the rest of us. She earns nothing and still gets to live comfortably as a rich housewife. So enviable. The class monitor laughed awkwardly. Lisa was an excellent student back then. She won scholarships several times. That was so long ago. Camila interrupted disdainfully. Talking about school days now is kind of pointless. Leo and I just went to bid on a project today. Do you know how much it was worth? She proudly held up 5 fingers. 50 million. We won. Leo and I worked on the proposal together for over a month. When we were working late nights at the office, Lisa was probably sleeping comfortably at home. Clink. I set my glass down heavily. Camila, first of all, this is my class reunion. You're just here for a free meal. I hope you have the manners and self-awareness that come with freeloading, unless you don't know how to spell the word manners. Second, who told you I earn nothing and live off Leo? I looked at him. Was it you? I never said that. Leo denied. Camila's young and doesn't think before she speaks. She doesn't mean any harm. Don't overthink it. I couldn't be bothered to argue with him. I turned to my classmates instead. It's true I haven't worked at a company these past few years, but I'm a technical consultant and shareholder at Shirley Auction House. Then I looked at Camila. I don't earn that much. My annual dividends are only about equal to 10 years of your salary. Hardly worth mentioning. Camila's face turned ashen. She couldn't say a word. Shirley? The one that auctioned an item for $80 million? Impressive. Lisa! I knew you couldn't sit still. That auction house only emerged in recent years, right? The owner is well connected, and it's been rising fast in the industry. Lisa, tell us, how did you meet the owner? The classmates crowded around me, asking about the auction house. No one paid Camila any attention anymore. Chapter 10. After the meal, Leo insisted on driving me home. He had Camila sit in the front passenger seat, while he came to sit with me in the back. Lisa, weren't you a bit too harsh on Camila today? I looked at him in disbelief. Me? Too harsh? From the front seat, Camila spoke with a clearly nasal, tearful voice. It's okay, Leo. I'm fine. Please don't argue because of me. A look of concern appeared on Leo's face. I've always treated Camila like a little sister. She was a bit thoughtless today. But if you had an issue, you could have told me privately. Why embarrass a young girl in front of everyone? I really couldn't listen anymore and raised my voice to the driver. Stop the car. Leo hurriedly tried to smooth things over. All right. I won't say anything. Don't be angry. After a moment of silence, he spoke cautiously. Lisa, how come I didn't know about the auction house? I glanced at him. There are plenty of things about you that I don't know either. He awkwardly reached for my hand. Still mad? You've been upset for quite a while now. I'm about to go on a business trip for half a month. We won't see each other for a long time. Can you forgive me? After I come back, let's have a child. How about I make an appointment with a hospital specialist for pre-pregnancy checkups? A child? My heart ached. I pulled my hand away. Camila cut in again. Leo, that specialist is really hard to book. I tried for a long time and couldn't get an appointment. Can I go with you? I just want to get a health check. I let out a cold laugh. That's great. If someone's willing to go with you, take her, Leo said helplessly. I'll only do the pre-pregnancy checkups with you. Camila, this time it's really not convenient. You shouldn't go. Camila refused to back down. I promise I won't disturb you. I just really can't get an appointment on my own. Leo actually hesitated, sneaking glances at my expression. Suddenly, a sentence came to my mind. When people are truly speechless, they laugh. I said nothing, as if none of this had anything to do with me. I thought of the graduate school interview notice sitting in my inbox. I took out my phone and quietly started looking up interview preparation guides. Chapter 11. After Leo left, he called me every day, video calls, non-stop. If I didn't answer, he would keep calling until I did. In the end, I picked up, set the phone aside, and continued doing my own things. He never hung up either, staying connected until he fell asleep. Before the exam, I called my professor. Professor, this is Lisa. There was a brief silence on the other end. I saw that you passed the postgraduate written exam. Yes, Professor, I said. I'm calling to ask, are you still willing to take me on as your student? The professor didn't answer immediately. In the long wait, all I could hear was my own heartbeat. I remember when you graduated from undergrad, I encouraged you to pursue graduate studies. He finally said, but you told me the person you loved wanted to see you every day. What about now? I'm sorry, Professor, I replied. I was too young back then. I thought that if love crossed mountains and seas, then mountains and seas could be overcome. Reality taught me otherwise. Loving oneself is more important than loving another. Archaeology is what I truly love. I hope it can give my life another chance. The professor finally sighed. Prepare well for the interview. My heart loosened instantly. I hung up the phone. Thankfully, I had never abandoned my field over the years. After serious preparation, I finally received the postgraduate admission letter from my alma mater. The day I received the offer, I cried uncontrollably, as if trying to cry out all the grievances I had carried for years. Leo was about to return. He messaged me, Lisa, I'm coming back tomorrow. I miss you so much. At that moment, I was scrolling through Camila's little blue book posts. Business trip. Day 1, the boss upgraded me to the presidential suite and told me to rest well. Sending love. Photo, an enormous bathtub by a floor-to-ceiling window. Business trip. Day 3, I accidentally cut my finger on a brochure. The boss immediately worried and helped me put on a bandage. Photo, Leo lowering his head, carefully bandaging her finger. Business trip. Day 6, I got my period and accidentally stained the boss's suit. Crying. He didn't ask me to compensate and even thoughtfully brought me lychee sweet wine with egg pudding. So delicious. Photo, a bowl of lychee egg dessert. What a sweet love diary. Expressionless. I finished scrolling. I took out the divorce agreement I had printed long ago and placed it on the coffee table. After taking one last look at the home that once belonged to me, I pulled my suitcase and closed the door behind me. Chapter 12. I blocked Leo on every social media platform and originally planned to travel. After all, there was still more than a month before school started. But my professor asked whether I wanted to join the research team in advance. He was taking students to the Northwest for an archaeological excavation project. I agreed without hesitation. Compared to traveling, archaeology was far more interesting. As the plane ascended into the blue sky, I looked out the window. The professor patted my hand lightly. Once you join the team, you need to focus. Don't dwell on the past. I nodded, pulled down my eye mask, and fell into a deep, sweet sleep. Life in the Northwest was extremely fulfilling. We worked until late every night, and phone signals were often non-existent. Very soon, I put everything about Leo completely out of my mind, until one day, when we stopped to rest in a relatively large town. I received a call from Angelica. "Lisa, Leo is going crazy trying to find you. He goes to the auction house every day to block me, chasing me and asking where you are." I told him I couldn't reach you, but he didn't believe me. I heard he's handed his company over to his deputy. Lost several deals already. Where on earth are you? I'm digging dirt in the Northwest. You still have the mood to joke? Should I tell him where you are? No need. He's already here. I looked at Leo standing in front of me, dusty and exhausted. "How did you find me?" I asked. His eyes were red, like an abandoned puppy. "You forgot that your email was still logged in on the computer at home. That's how I found out you got into your alma mater's graduate program. I begged a lot of people, pulled a lot of strings, and finally learned that you came here with your professor." "Oh, is that so?" I replied lightly, clearly irritating him. "Lisa, why exactly?" he demanded. "Shoo." I gestured for him to lower his voice. "Wait for me a moment. I'll tell you why." I turned and ran to my professor to submit the report I finished yesterday. "Let's go," I said afterward. "There's no cafe here, but there's a decent restaurant ahead." At the restaurant, I ordered pilaf, the dish I had recently grown fond of. He didn't touch his chopsticks, staring at me deeply. "Lisa, don't you hate lamb?" "I like it now. Try it. The lamb here is different." His tears suddenly fell, large drops hitting the tabletop. "Why did you leave without saying anything? Why did you disappear? Why, did you want a divorce?" I smiled faintly. "Don't you know why? Just because it rained that day and I took Camila home instead of picking you up? If that's what you think, then so be it," I replied indifferently. "Lisa, why are you so heartless? Didn't we agree that after I came back, we'd see a doctor and have a child of our own? I really don't understand. I work overtime and travel constantly, exhausted like a dog, yet I never complained to you. I worked so hard just to give you a good life. When I traveled, I thought about you every day. I even brought you gifts. I was planning our future. I thought we'd have a lovely baby, a happy family of 3. But when I happily opened the door, all I saw was an empty house and divorce papers. Why? Lisa, I don't understand." I swallowed the mouthful of food, glanced at my watch. There were 20 minutes left before assembly. "You don't understand, right, Leo?" "Neither do I. I don't understand why you hired Camila when she clearly wasn't competent. I don't understand why, aside from work, she could constantly rely on you in her personal life. From taking her home in the rain to picking up her parents at the station. Whenever she needed something, you were always there. So tell me, who exactly is the boss here?" I understand even less why. After she appeared, she was the one eating with you, commuting with you, spending far more time with you than I ever did. You knew I didn't like her, yet you still let her interfere in our lives. What disgusts me the most is that you said she looks like me. You claimed you took care of her because of me. But now you take better care of her than you ever did of me. Do you remember that the day of the reunion was my birthday? Leo looked at me in panic. "Your birthday? Aw, July 16. I'm sorry. I was too busy. It was my fault. I shouldn't have forgotten. I'll make it up to you, okay?" At first, I did think she looked like you, but later I realized her personality is completely different from yours. You're mature and rational. She's weak and naive. Watching her struggle alone in a strange city, I gradually felt pity for her, like for an immature little sister. I couldn't help but laugh coldly. Leo, stop making excuses for yourself. I don't believe you didn't notice she liked you. You simply enjoyed the feeling. I took out my phone and shoved Camila's posts in front of him. He scrolled through a few, looking lost. I'm sorry, Lisa. I didn't know. I didn't want to waste any more time. You always thought I was angry because you didn't pick me up that rainy day. But do you know what really happened? That day, I lost our child. Chapter 13. I touched my stomach with a trace of sorrow. Leo looked at me in shock. Lisa, what did you just say? I only fell once, and it was gone. Maybe it didn't want to come into this world either. When I was lying in the pouring rain, you and Camila were probably sitting in the car, chatting happily. I called you again and again, but every time, there was no answer. Do you know how helpless I was? The repeated busy tone on the other end of the line was the period you personally placed at the end of our story. So why pretend to be affectionate now? It's disgusting. I stood up. Go back, Leo. During this time in the Northwest, I don't have to revolve around you anymore, and I've been very happy. Leo cried and said, Lisa, it was my fault. Please give me one more chance, okay? I didn't turn back. I waved my hand lightly and walked toward the assembly point. After we gathered, the professor led us to the next site. At the back of the convoy, Leo drove his car far behind us. Whenever we stopped, he stopped far away as well, never coming close or disturbing us. He got a new phone number and started sending me messages. Lisa, the way you look when you're focused on your work is so beautiful, just like the first time I saw you. Maybe time made me too used to your presence and I forgot how to cherish it. I lost everything I cherished the most. I deserved it. Lisa, I know how much pain I caused you. I just want to do everything I can to make up for it. Please give me one chance. I didn't reply, fully immersing myself in the archaeological work, until Leo's mother called my phone. Lisa, I don't know why things between you and Leo have turned out like this, but he chased after you all the way to the Northwest just to make things right. The company is on the verge of chaos now. This company is the result of so many years of his hard work. You wouldn't want to see it ruined, would you? I'm begging you, please let him come back. I looked at Leo in the distance, sitting on a hillside eating dry rations, and called him. Go back. After all, the company can be considered our shared property. If it collapses, that's also my loss. He was silent for a few seconds before finally replying. Okay. I watched his car drive away without any expression on my face, then turned back and threw myself once again into the intense work ahead. Chapter 14. The day to return finally arrived. The semester was about to begin. Angelica came to the airport to pick me up. She looked me over carefully and said, You're Tanner, but you look much more spirited. I burst out laughing. Then I turned around and saw Leo. He had lost a lot of weight. What surprised me even more was that Camila wasn't by his side. Angelica lowered her voice and said, You don't know, after he came back from the Northwest, he fired Camila. No severance package at all. He dismissed her on the grounds of serious work mistakes that caused major losses to the company. Didn't give her any face. She cried and made a scene for a long time. But Leo didn't even acknowledge her. Later she applied for jobs at other companies and even hinted that she had an intimate relationship with Leo. When Leo found out, he directly clarified within the industry that he had nothing to do with Camila. After that, major companies all believed she was lying and blacklisted her. I heard she couldn't find a job anywhere and went back to her hometown not long ago. After the gossip, Leo walked over to me. Lisa, can I take you home? He asked. I replied, When will you have time to go to the Civil Affairs Bureau with me to register the divorce? The corner of Leo's mouth drooped. What if I never have time? I smiled. That's fine. Then we'll go through litigation. Anyway, if we stay separated for 2 years, the court will almost certainly grant the divorce. Lisa, are you really not willing to give me even one chance? I shook my head. Haven't I given you chances? I gave you too many. That's why you took me for granted. Now I just want to study well and work well. If you still have even a shred of affection for me, then let me go. Hearing my last sentence, Leo looked as if he were about to cry. Okay, Lisa, I'll let you go. Thanks, I said, nodding as I walked past him. linking arms with Angelica. Angelica clicked her tongue. That's ruthless. Ruthless? I smiled bitterly. I just don't love him anymore. Leo cooperated smoothly in filing for divorce. He gave me half of the company's shares. I didn't refuse, after all. I had given so many years of my life to him. After the cooling-off period, I finally received the divorce certificate. I gained long-lost freedom and devoted myself fully to my studies. Leo often came to the university to look for me. I was busy. He would wait downstairs for hours. Sometimes he couldn't see me and would leave, then come again another time. Some classmates asked whether he was pursuing me. I only answered, a classmate. Occasionally male classmates showed interest in me as well, but all my energy was focused on academics. I had no interest in relationships at all. One day, after leaving my professor's office, I saw Leo standing downstairs. I didn't avoid him. I walked up to him. He looked pleasantly surprised and was about to speak. I spoke first. Don't come looking for me anymore. I'm going with my professor on a project in the Middle East. I may be gone for a long time. That place isn't safe. I'll go with you, he said urgently. I shook my head. The professor is leading the team. It'll be fine. Leo, let go. I don't love you anymore. He looked at me deeply. Lisa, are you happy now? I nodded. I really like my life now. I like my field of study too. Working hard for what I love makes me very happy. Leo was silent for a long time, then exhaled softly. At least let me take you to the airport, as a friend. I didn't refuse. I waved at him and walked forward, resolutely.